so annoyed. You have no idea how irritating this man has been. He is not going to get away with it. I can't hear you. I can see you. You must have pressed something. Can you hear me? And see me? Okay, well, look, I haven't got long and I have to tell you about this. It's two things now. I told you I was going to ring him, didn't I? Well, he's self-isolating at home. No, they couldn't give me his number, and no, they couldn't transfer me. Send an email. What's he doing in charge if he is so overweight and apparently has asthma, so he can't come into work? He is supposed to be making sure that George is properly educated. So I wrote. I said it was a disgrace that George's teacher isn't doing a full day online teaching the class as she is supposed to do, putting a few things up on the website and then sitting back and expecting us to get on with doing her work isn't teaching. Doubtless she's sitting at home playing computer games or on a shopping channel, it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, she is available for a video call once a week, if necessary. And every morning there's a sort of a video introduction to what we, the parents, are supposed to do. She talks to the kids and we're supposed to pick up on it, get the idea. They have no idea, I said. George and Cressida fighting over who gets the iPad, who gets the laptop. I mean, thank goodness we had that in a cupboard. Otherwise, there'd be 4 of us for 3 computers. Not even 2 computers and a tablet. I need a tablet, I can tell you, one I can swallow. And that's before we even get to, what would you like to do first, children? English? Maths? It's boring, I'm told, but not half as boring as I find it. Cress is better. I suppose she is that bit older, and she's a girl. But there I am saying to George, no, you can't do another drawing, and Harry Potter isn't going to get you where you need to be next year, so put the wand down and listen. At that point, the phone goes, and I'm already late for a Zoom meeting. Then the doorbell goes, and it's the Ocado order. George will have to wait. And don't expect any sympathy from Big Boss Bill. He's... Don't go away. Hi? I'm Martina. Yeah, I'm just in a meeting. I'll call you back in 20 minutes. Great. Oh, sorry about that. Thank God it wasn't Bill. My relationship with him is tense enough as it is. Am I keeping the clients happy? He doesn't want to hear any adverse reports. The unspoken part then is, or it's furlough at best for you, my girl. Yes, girl. Of course, he never rings after 4 on a day when the private tutor takes over. So, I try and get George back on track. A quick explanation and then on with the exercise. Tell me again, Mum. I want you to be able to stand on your own 2 feet, so man up. I'm 10. You're my mum. You're meant to be teaching me. And then it's lunchtime. I am trying to teach him to cook a bit. I know it won't get him a scholarship, but it helps. And I don't want him to end up like How'd You Boil an Egg Phil, where's the barbecue? I mean, I love that man dearly, but I will never understand how it is that he can cook on a barbecue, but not on a hob. Eventually, I got a reply to my letter. Fully sympathise, etc. Running a home, feeding the family, laundry, emotional support for the kids, keeping a stressful job going. Arrgh! He's single. He doesn't know the half of it. And he forgot cleaning. What does that tell you? God, the relief of hearing we can have Anita back. Now I've just got to persuade Phil that it'll be safe. So, I carry on with George. Phil? No, I can't ask Phil to help. Not when he's just getting us out of this hole and things are, or he says they are, starting to get better. I mean, he's on the phone or Zoom or Microsoft Teams morning till night. We can't have everything fall apart again. That's the whole point. We've got to get George into a decent school, and teaching him's my bit. He'd be in a better school now if it weren't for what happened. So, I carry on until, inevitably, one of my clients rings and says, sorry, that's it. I call Bill to tell him what's happened, but the kids are in the background making a noise because it's their break time, and he goes off on one about how I can't have been looking after Michelle, that's the client, well enough, or I wouldn't have lost her. Bill, her business is folding like so many others. He's not interested. Lose another client and that's us, is what he says. Less time with the kids, more on keeping things going. It is getting harder and harder to get George to concentrate. I've tried, let's do a project. Why don't you make the timetable? But it has to be realistic. Whether it's a project or the timetable, it's still got to include maths. We did a sneaky trip to Ashdown Forest, only to get, I'm bored, I don't want to run around. Then I made the mistake of suggesting hide and seek, and Phil went off on one about who the boy might come across in the woods. Meanwhile, my son's future is at stake. We've got to get him to pass that exam and, fingers crossed, get a scholarship, just to make our lives a little bit easier. Speak of the devil. Just a mo. Darling. Yes, I know, but not when I'm in a meeting. I won't be long. Oh, so where was I? The entrance exam. I'm seeing red, so I write again. It's the school's responsibility to make sure that my son passes that exam successfully. They're failing him in his education. My husband and I are most concerned to ensure that he gets into the school of our choice, so he gets the education he deserves to prepare him for university and then go places the way we want him to. The reply comes back quicker this time. Fully appreciates that this is an anxious time and we're concerned about George's future, etc., etc. However, the school has no duty to prepare children for private school entrance exams. It has children of all abilities and backgrounds, some with special needs, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah, which is not how I see it at all. That is not why I pay my taxes, and he gets a fat salary and a short day and long holidays to take his dog for walks. You know he brings it into school with him, don't you? It sits in his office. I've often wondered about reporting it. It was Gove who called them the blob, wasn't it? I think Dominic came up with the term for him, but teachers, educators, condescending know-alls who just want to be loved by everyone. I know there are good ones, but this idea that they're all experts is just nonsense. My mother says some of her best teachers had no training at all, they just knew how to do it. A head teacher is just someone who's got bored with sitting in the classroom with kids and wants to play at being a manager when they haven't the first clue. They all need shaking up. It's clear they're all skivers. Look at how quick the unions have been in the last couple of days to say they can't go back to work. They can't cover up their laziness fast enough. And the head sent out a letter to all parents asking if they want their child to return to school or continue with homeschooling, but listing all the dangers of returning, etc. So I'm sure most parents will say they want Janet and John to stay at home. Well, this parent is saying that she and her husband want George back at school being properly educated, and I'll be making a complaint. Only I won't tell him that I'm going to the top. He doesn't know who my brother-in-law is. I'll get him to shake them all up properly, and this little man, or this fat man in particular. I know the Minister for Children is busy, but he is Cress's godfather and he does owe me a favour. You're shaking your head. Keep it in reserve. I want a bomb to drop on that condescending man. Darling, I daren't stay any longer or I'll have Phil bursting out of his office saying he can't have that much noise going on when he's in the middle of an important meeting. They all are, I suppose. I must get George settled. No, is that the time? I'm late for another Zoom meeting. Fix that problem, won't you? Next time I want us to have a proper chat. Big love. Bye for now.